All right, Warrior Poets, I got a movie recommendation for you. It's an amazing one. It's called Hacksaw Ridge, and it's the kind of movie where immediately after you're just so pumped up, you want to go attempt daring things. You want to go live your life on purpose. You want to go sacrifice. And so it's not just a good story, it's a true story as well. And again, I didn't know anything about this story beforehand. Again, I've told this to you in past videos. I'm constantly overwhelmed with how much I don't know. So that was irritating to again find, like, how has this story not been told to me sometime before? How have I not picked this up and come across it? The movie is called Hacksaw Ridge, and it recounts the story of Desmond Doss. Desmond Doss was a combat medic during World War II, during one of World War II's most bloody battles of Okinawa. It's an island right off the coast of Japan. As a medic, he's going to do the impossible. He's going to do the miraculous even. But he's an unlikely hero, and this is all just very, very good history was laid out. This story, the movie kept very, very close to real history. Desmond Doss died back in 1991, and he wouldn't allow anyone to make this movie, though people had tried for years and years and years, because his requirement of no, absolute perfect history is what he was calling for. So they could never actually make the film, though they tried before. So it really stuck well to the history. He was a World War II medic, a guy of real strong beliefs because of what he believed about the Bible. Desmond Doss was a Bible-believing dude, and he took the part of the Bible where it says, "Thou shalt not kill," and he took that to mean where most theologians now believe that means "thou shalt not murder," and I agree with them. That's the context. Thou shalt not murder. He took it to mean thou shalt not kill anyone ever. Even war is off limits. I'd like to speak to the theology of that. I wrote a blog post about it. I'll provide a link down in the description if you guys want to check it out. And I plan to do a video on it as well, answering the question of, is it okay? Is it justifiable biblically for people to kill? But anyway, that's neither here nor there. I don't want to take pop shots at his theology. What I want to just say is, he was a man of daring, he was bold, he was an unlikely hero, kind of an underdog story, but he had deep convictions and he had the boldness to stick to them. And so he was a man of great faith as well. So I really appreciate that. Now, what made this dude an absolutely miraculous story is Desmond Doss is up on this big ridge after an attack that they had just gained some ground on. They got repelled. Everyone skirts back over this just cliff, this big ridge, and they climb back down. And he's left up there alone as the Japanese are up there, and he's up there alone with just a bunch of dead friends and a lot of wounded people. There was tons of wounded people that had just been kind of left behind. And they'll spend all evening up there and the morning of the next day. And while all the troops had came down off the ridge, Desmond Doss is left behind to hide for his life, I suppose. But throughout the evening, he stayed very, very busy. He would go out and basically low crawl and hiding and finding different soldiers he had served with. He'll drag them back over and lower them over the cliff. And he did this one after the other after the other. Every single time after he found another one, he would pray to God, "God, help me find one more. Help me find just one more." And he found just one more 75 times. 75 people he single-handedly lowered over the wall. And this is all a pacifist, conscientious, objective World War II vet. He's a guy who refused to carry a gun. So he's the only dude on the ridge that's not carrying a gun. This is very unorthodox. The other medics, they had guns. Desmond Doss refuse to touch one. And so it's just amazing. He was an unlikely story in the event that the other dudes that served with him, picked up what he was a conscientious objector. They didn't like that and they wanted him gone. So there was one night particularly while he was in his training where they threw him out of bed and just like beat him to a pulp. The leadership as well didn't like the fact that he was a conscientious objector as well. And so they harassed and made his life very difficult. He almost faced a court-martial for refusing orders to pick up a gun. But be that as it may, he went through all the different requirements, fought it, ended up on the battlefield unarmed, and ended up becoming one of their great champion heroes, where the next day when they reclimb Hacksaw Ridge to take ground, they refuse to go up if he's not with them, almost kind of like perhaps they were thinking the effect of one of just his heroism, his leadership. All soldiers can become very superstitious or very, very spiritual in war, and perhaps they felt like, if Desmond's with us, God won't let us fail. So I don't know what was going through their heads, but they refused to assault. And it just means that a man of daring, a man of courage, a man of faith can affect amazing change and can be used to perhaps affect the impossible, the miraculous. And so Desmond Doss, his story, you need to see it, but this movie will get you just amped up. Ready to live your life on purpose. The movie itself, it was directed by Mel Gibson. He knocked it out of the park, did a very, very good job. So good job, Gibson. Vince Vaughn was in it, which caught me off guard. He was a sergeant that was in charge of Desmond, and I don't know. Vince Vaughn's a funny dude, so I couldn't really take him seriously. To his credit, he did just fine, but I never really got over Vince Vaughn as the sergeant. And he's like doing a 20-mile, forced march, and he's built like Vince Vaughn, and I'm like, there's no way Vaughn would have been able to do that in real life. But anyway, the main hero that played Desmond Doss was the same kid who played in the new Spider-Man's Garfield, I think, Andrew Garfield. Anyway, he did a real good job too. So anyway, I encourage you to go check out the movie and read the story if you care to as well. So this is a Warrior Poet movie review. Hope you guys liked it. Share, like, subscribe, all that stuff that helps me out and others. See you guys.